It's Sunday, and I just finished going to a estate sale with my mom. I spent $42.50, which doesn't seem very much because estate sale stuff is usually pretty expensive. This place was priced really well. Today was the first day of the estate sale. I got a ton of stuff, and I'll show you what I got later. I'm not sure everything was priced. I'm going to have a hard time saying exactly what I spent on everything, but I'll get my best shot. And then next, I went to Howe, and I got this silver plate. It is a Reed and Barton, and it came in a bag, and I spent $1 on it. I was hoping to have good luck after I got that other silver thing here last weekend. Picked up this textbook for 10 bucks. That's a new thing in textbooks. This is different than when I was in college. They are selling them in loose leaf, and that's what a lot of people do. I guess the thinking is that you don't have to carry all your books around. You just take out like the chapter that you need and take it to class. That's kind of cool. Loose leaf edition of that textbook is selling for 75 bucks on Amazon. I'll probably put mine at like 60. Spend 12 bucks for 2 boxes at U-Haul. You can see they're really tall boxes. They're taller than I am. Once they fold up, I think they're only 40 inches. But anyway, I'm mailing out that golf bag tomorrow, and I had to have a big box for it. This place is definitely cheaper than that half-price place box. I'm still mad about that. Here, you only want to pay $2 or $3 for a box this size. If I was to get them on maybe like Uline or someplace like that, I think I could get them for cheaper, but you're buying 15 or 25 at a time, and right now I just don't need that many in my garage. I don't ship golf bags that often. I usually sell them in town. These are 48 inches. I'm short, but I'm not that short. There you can see the box size. She gave me bigger than I needed. That's not good. I have to cut that down because every extra inch you pay for on USPS. Wonder if they have 12 by 12. The estate sale I went to, here's the first stack. That's a big stack of like cross stitch and quilting magazines. I got those for $1 each, and I think I paid $5.50 in total for that whole stack. I just ended up listing a bunch of cross-stitch patterns from a couple weekends ago, magazines, and I've already sold one stack, and there's a big basically population of collectors out there for those. So like I was saying, I paid $42.50 for this whole lot. I'm not sure exactly how it all adds up because I added up, I don't know, more than that, I guess, but so I don't know if I got a deal on something, but I'm going to go through basically what I paid. Got that 7-Up bottle for $1, Timbuktu case for $1, this old Rook game for $1, all these books right here for $1. I'm not sure these will sell. They'll probably take a while to sell, but people collect stuff like this. It's old like refrigerator, manual, vintage. This type of paper, I'm not sure about this particular brand, but this type of tracing paper sells really for quite a bit of money. Same thing for this type of paper. This was cool. It's a vintage engineer's pad, a train refrigerator manual that's obviously pretty old, and another train refrigerator manual or something along those lines. I got these 2 Peanuts characters that both have tags still for $1 each. Paid $2 for this stuff here. I didn't even look this one up, but it was just kind of so interesting looking. I had to grab it. Windows 7, TurboTax, some really cool rainbow suspenders, AutoCAD LT. I can't tell if this has been used or not. The plastic right here is open. I've got to take it out of the box and see if it's still bundled or not. I think I paid $2 for that. I think I paid $2 for this, even though it says $2.50. An old vintage plotter. Paid $1 for each of these vintage shirts. I think this lady worked for MetLife. She had a ton of MetLife stuff, and I guess at some point they might have been paired up with Snoopy or Peanuts because somehow it's all connected. There's that one. A vintage Christmas Nutcracker sweater, and vintage Alaska. Paid $1 each for those. Okay, I paid $3 for this Harley Davidson book. Pretty cool. Paid, I think, about $2.67 for this Clue. It says there's Sorry in there too, so I'm not sure if that's true or not. But a vintage game. And then this is a really old vintage Monopoly. I paid $2.67 for that one. I've got to open it up and see if it's complete or not. It's obviously going to sell better if it's complete. And then a really nice Vera Bradley, there's the Vera, kind of like duffel bag, and the condition on it is exceptional, so hoping to get something for that one. Paid $2.67 for the bag. The Gatorade's carrier with 6 bottles for $25 on eBay. Had 10 into this best offer for the Black & Decker pivot vac. I got 15 for it, paid 1. They're shipping Black & Decker circular saw, and I got 13 for it, paid 3. Speakers, the Bose speakers that came with that middle center one. So these are the 2 Jewel speakers. I got these several weekends ago at the Epic electronic garage sale haul. And what happened was several people had bought them from me, and I took a best offer, and then they never paid on eBay. I finally got someone to pay. I got $35 for them, and I think if I remember right, I have about $5 into these, maybe $2.50. Sold the Birkenstocks that I picked up at Howe for $1. Got $25 for them on eBay. Sold this old camera accessory. It was new in the box, just open box format. I paid $2, got $38.80 for the ad mat for $5 only. I only had $1 into it on eBay. Sunday night, and I just met somebody to sell the vintage Oklahoma hat that I picked up this weekend. I bought it for $1, and I got $20 for it, which is awesome. In other news, I had a lot of people message me about it on Facebook. Not a whole lot ended up messaging me back to commit to buy it. One guy cussed me out that I wouldn't drive like 20 or 30 miles to meet him halfway somewhere, and I told him I would ship it for $5, and that's when he cussed me out on Facebook. And I'm just like, $5 is not that much compared to time and gas, but people just start cranky sometimes. So I sold it to a different guy on Facebook. He was super stoked about it when I showed up. He thought it was awesome, so I'm glad it went to somebody that was nicer, I guess. It turns out this box to ship the golf bag, being that it is 15 by 15 by 48, makes a major difference. Even if I cut it down to 36 by 15 by 15, the difference in shipping is like $70 versus 50 something, and so I've got to cut it down to 12 inches wide. I made a major mistake on this, shipping this out, and when you're doing eBay and you're still it takes forever to figure out eBay and shipping, and you just still make mistakes. And so the mistake I made was I had this listed at $400 originally, and that I would pay the shipping on it. It's a really nice bag. It's a Belding, and they go for like $600 or $700 or $800 on Belding's website. So I thought I could get $400 for it. No one was biting on it, so I put it down to $99.99. The mistake I made was forgetting that I would pay the shipping for USPS priority mail, and to get something this large somewhere in 3 days, within 3 days, is super expensive, $50 to $70, and so I'm just losing out on this one pretty much. I made $100 on it. I paid $20. I probably won't end up seeing hardly any profit on this one. Getting to show what I'm packing, but I sold 16 of a magazine bundle lot, basically, of cross-stitch sampler magazine. I just started listing those last night. I got those several weekends ago. I sold 16. Let me see what I got. 16 for $16 plus shipping on top. And if I remember right, I think I paid $15 for the whole lot, and I still have binders and binders and binders of these to sell. So there's definitely a community of cross-stitch people that are collecting old vintage cross-stitch magazines. Mine are in great condition, which is added bonus. Venus and Serena tennis racket, kind of vintage type thing. The racket's included for $15. Is that right? I think it's right. And I paid $1 or less for this. Basically, right? $14.99 is what I got for it. Shipping on top. $60.80 on Amazon on more book boxes and shipping tape. I go through that stuff so fast, and it went up several bucks for the 6-pack. And if they think I won't notice it, I noticed. Ready to meet somebody for the Snap-on vintage hat. This thing is awesome. Probably should have kept it. The buyer is from Facebook Marketplace, and typically I like to meet in Broken Arrow, really close to my house, just because you just don't want to spend a ton of time driving somewhere, to be honest. When you're trying to sell a lot of things, time's money. In this situation, however, they worked really close to my work, and they wanted to meet 1/10 of a mile from my work, and so I was willing to do that. And he's supposed to be on his way right now. Waited approximately 2 minutes. Here's my 20 bucks for that one. I really should have kept that thing. That thing was awesome. But anyway, this is a flip tip for you. If you are selling things all the time, especially on Marketplace, and you're meeting up with people in person, for some reason the phrase or the question often comes up, why are you getting rid of this, or how'd you get it? And my new phrase is, I'm a collector, which is not a false, statement. I do collect things and then I flip them. And sometimes the time in between is pretty short for how long I collect it. But and that seems to go over pretty well, because if you're a collector, that means your stuff is in pretty good condition usually. And so maybe you can use it. I had like 2 minutes at How today. Only thing I found was this Bell Howell Director Series Dual Electric. Let me show you inside. Like, the case is, first of all, this thing is super heavy. So it's going to be pain to ship because it's heavy, or expensive for whoever. Not me. That's what I learned yesterday. I'm not shipping heavy stuff. When you look inside of it, there's a reel of some sort. Ooh. Still wrapped in plastic. That part is. It's still got this cover on it, which is interesting. I just don't know what, I mean, it's some type of projector or something, I think. I'm not sure how I'll know if it's working or not. That piece looks loose. The light looks okay, but there's some weird corrosion looking. Probably sell it as not tested, just because I don't want to figure out how to test it. Unless I could find it on YouTube easily, but it's interesting looking. We'll see if it sells. I got it for $4. This golf bag. I forgot to tell the official number for that one. I sold it for $100, paid $20. Ended up, after shipping and fees, coming away with $25 to reinvest, meaning I paid $20, so I only profited $5. That was a big learning lesson on this one, because the time and hassle it took to do the box and everything. Oh yeah, so the fees included the box also. So $5 profit. Just spent $14.28 on gas. I just gotten home from work, How, and the post office. Open Facebook and find this. The best thing you can hope to find. Bats, bats, bats at the top of Facebook Marketplace. Next best thing, I click open the listing. On that listing, it doesn't show how much they are. $10 each, not bad. What's better? They're in Broken Arrow, so I don't have to drive far. I'm headed right now to buy 2 out of the 3 of them. One of them's not worth it, but the other 2 are, and so I'm about to go get them, and I'll show you what I get for 2 bats. Got an Easton there's Easton S400. You can see they're small bats, but they're still selling on eBay pretty well. And then I got another Easton Fast Pitch bat, FS200. This one's selling for more like 20 or so. The other one's selling for closer to 40. So hoping to make anywhere from 30 to 40 bucks profit on that purchase.